I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 87, Parlor Pro 64 Pachinko Jikki Simulation. Released exclusively in Japan in 1999, this game was both developed and published by Nihon Telenet. Well, this is it. The absolute bottom of the barrel type of game for this challenge. If you know what Pachinko is already, then maybe you've got an idea what I'm talking about. If not, well, I guess you'll find out here. There's not too much else to say, let's just get into it. Quick thanks to Who Was Phone for putting out a translation guide for this game on GameFAQs. These translation guides have made the Japanese exclusive titles so much easier for this challenge. So in the main menu there's 4 choices: strategy mode, hall mode, reach gallery, and sound mode. Strategy mode is essentially practice mode, reach gallery is where you can view the jackpots of each machine, sound mode is where you adjust the game's sound, and hall mode is the main story of the game. So hall mode is what I'll be completing to beat this title. I went into strategy mode first, and there were 3 Pachinko machines to choose from. If you select one, it gives a huge backstory about what the machine is and its significance to the game. I decided to go with the first machine called Mr. Jen the Carpenter. Alright, brief explanation on what the heck Pachinko is. Essentially, it's a slot machine. Okay, now with that out of the way, alright, for real. Pachinko is like an extension of a slot machine. There is an extremely slight skill element in that you launch metal balls into the machine to determine the outcome. The skill part is that you choose the amount of power you launch the balls with. If you don't know, gambling's not allowed in Japan. So why do they have Pachinko parlors then? Well, you see, you pay money to play the skill-based game of Pachinko, and then you earn tokens that you can purchase little trinkets with. It just so happens that conveniently right across the street, there's a completely unrelated shop that will purchase these trinkets for real money. So if you like gambling, it kind of works out. It's really weird how they're always there. Alright, so whenever you do something specific in the machine, it will start a jackpot spin. This looks identical to what you might know as a slot machine, right? Hey, did you notice how Konami kinda quit making video games? That's because they converted their entire business to just making Pachinko machines. You may even see one of their slot machines if you go to a casino in the United States. Alright, anyway, I didn't stick with this machine, so I won't get more into it. After messing around there, I figured I'd just jump into the story mode. There's actually sort of a storyline involved in this. It shows this creepy dude in a trench coat who says his name is Igarashi, and he leads the local Pachinko gang around these parts. I guess our character has lost his way in life and he really wants to join this Pachinko gang. Igarashi says he'll loan us 100,000 bucks to play Pachinko with. If we can double that money in a week, then we're in. If not, well, he'll probably break our shins or something, I don't know. Then it takes you to the main menu of the story. It has our money and time of day in the top corners. Then the menu from top to bottom reads Go Out, which lets you play Pachinko, Change Time, which lets you advance the time of day, Sleep, which advances to the next day, Status, where you can look at your previous winnings, Save, Load, and Quit. When you choose to go out, it shows an overhead view of the city. You can select which Pachinko parlor you wish to attend. It shows from the name of it, the hours of operation, and the payout rate. The higher the rate, the more you pay to play, but also the more you earn from winning. When you go in a parlor, it has this first-person view of you walking around. You can see all the different machines to play on, and some will have NPCs playing on them. I guess the idea is that this should have felt like you were really out there playing in a real Pachinko hall, but yeah, it pretty much sucks. There's plenty of amenities to keep you there too, like this amazing coffee machine, although you can't actually interact with it. Dude, can we buy coffee? Heck, I'm thirsty. Eventually, I found my way onto the machine I would spend most of this playthrough on. It's called Sparkling Paradise, although I just called it the fish game. I put in some money and had balls start flying all over the place. Something happened, causing the slots on the screen in the center to move. It plays an admittedly catchy, but also infuriating jingle when they do move. There's just so much stuff on the screen, and it was so overwhelming. What are all these things? Are they relevant? What made the slots move? Well, while I did figure all that out for this game, at this point in the playthrough, I literally had no idea. The only thing I understood was the knob in the bottom right adjusted how hard the balls were launched. Eventually, the machine yelled out and it zoomed in on the slots. I had 2 crabs lined up and I just needed the middle one to win. This is known as a reach, and it's what Pachinko's all about, baby. The rush of a reach gets you pumped up at the potential to win big. Of course, you're really unlikely to win, and the machine just makes it look like you were close, when in reality, it determined whether or not you'd win long before that animation played. Some reaches are better than others though. Depending on what craziness happens during one, you're more likely to win. This machine can have a reach where you can win in 2 different ways, and if it gets really crazy, this woman in a bikini pops up. Come on, pufferfish. What the heck is that? And she's pointing at her, yeah. Of course, you're still less likely to lose than win, even with all this going on. It took like 20 minutes of playing for me to win once. I got a reach with 1 way to win, but I had fish swim by, as well as a coral reef pop up. Come on! No. Oh! Oh shoot, what did we get? Oh man, it felt amazing to see that 3rd crawfish thing line up where it needed to be. When you win, the woman shows back up and it says lucky on the screen. This is what you strive for. However, at this time, I still had no idea what was going on. I expected to be showered with gold and riches, but it just stayed zoomed in on her. What the heck is this, man? But then after a minute or so, it switched to a different screen with fish swimming by and said round 1. But then it made a horrible error noise, and I guess it showed her drowning? It's actually so funny to watch back, seeing me be so lost. It just kept repeating the same process over and over. I had no idea what was going on. I got fed up and quit the machine, and apparently I was down 3,500 bucks. Oh god, my legs are done for. Things didn't go better for the rest of that day, so I went home and went to sleep. It shows a stat screen reminding you how much money you lost, then it goes to the next day. I wanted to see what happened if I slept for a full week to make sure that was actually where the game ended. And after the 7th day, it showed a bigger stat screen once again for all the money I lost. Then it showed 3 faces on screen with their opinions of my gameplay. They give you tips on how to improve, but it's all luck, like come on. Then it shows that guy from the start of the game and he's like, hey, what were you doing all week? Don't even think about playing Pachinko around here. I better not see you again. And then I presume he had a bunch of gangsters beat me up, but that cutscene was probably removed from the final version. Man, this game was just cryptic. Like, I'm sure the language barrier hurt, but even without that, how do you find what you're supposed to do? Thankfully, some members of my Twitch community know Japanese, and they were helping search on Japanese sites to find any insights towards the game. There was surprisingly 1 person who blogged about it. From this, we learned the game has a secret. If you idle on the map screen in the middle of the night, something happens. And it did. A sketchy looking dude shows up and he's like, hey, it's my birthday, you should celebrate with me. But then he gets mad because he's like, you don't have enough money to be worth mugging. I suck so bad that this dude didn't even want to rob me. Oh my god. After a full day of streaming the game, I made literally 0 progress. Didn't even gain a single dollar. But thankfully, this Pachinko machine is fairly popular. Because of this, we figured searching for the machine itself rather than this particular N64 game. Like I said, it's called Sparkling Paradise, and apparently it's kind of a classic in Japan. It's so popular that there's apparently an anime made about it. I don't know if that's true though. Alright, let's explain how it works. The first thing is all the pins. There are pins laid throughout the machine. These are designed to have the balls bounce around seemingly randomly. However, different versions of the same machine have the pins placed ever so slightly differently. In the practice mode, you can move these pins around as you'd like. And it just so happens there are templates to set the pins for you. One for a bad payout, one for a good payout, and one for a high payout. So what I did is set it to the high payout layout, took a screenshot of it, then looked for machines that had a similar layout to that within the story mode. Sure, it's still luck-based, but this made sure I was on the best potential machine. A second thing you can use to your advantage is a machine telling the stats of each machine in the parlor you're in. It tells you things like how many jackpots have been hit today, how long since the last jackpot, you know, stuff like that. If it has a 777 image on it, that means the machine's currently paying out a jackpot. Or you can walk around the parlor and look for people playing a machine with a big pile of cash next to them. That means they're doing really well. This is supposed to be the so-called skill part of the game. However, I didn't really find this info useful in my playthrough. So anyway, back to the machine. How does it work? Surprisingly, so much stuff on the machine is completely irrelevant. We already know about the pins, how they play a part. When a ball launches, it needs to land in the slot near the bottom where it says Hypersanyo. This activates a jackpot. The spins are pretty likely to be nothing. There's Roman numerals 1 through 4 on the sides where the slots spin, and these show how many spins you have queued up. You know, because you could have landed another ball in the slot before the current spin finishes. If you have over 4 spins queued up, you gain an extra ball per ball in the slot. When you eventually get a reach, the machine lets you know when various things will happen. Certain effects like bubbles, the swimming girl, coral reef, or fish make it more likely for you to win. If you do win, the machine transitions into the jackpot test. When you do, you have to get 1 ball into the Hypersanyo slot to pass the test. If you do, you're now in jackpot mode for 16 rounds. The way a round works is you have to land a ball in the spinning red, blue, yellow thing in the top right. The ball eventually slides inside and the beetle scarab thing in the bottom right opens up for about 10 seconds or so. For every ball that lands in there, you gain 15 new balls. Then the beetle closes and it goes to the next round. On the slot screen, it shows the current round in the top left and the score for that round in the top right. This repeats 16 times and then it goes back. Oh, and that fail message we got the first day is understood now too. That just happens if you don't land any balls inside the scarab during a round. And finally, the numbers in the top left of the screen just show your current number of balls, the number of spins, and the number of jackpots for the current session. Each of the balls can be cashed out for a certain amount of money per the payout rate of the parlor you're in. Whew, hopefully that makes a bit of sense. I know it was overwhelming for me to attempt to understand this thing. As far as I know, all other things on the machine are worthless. They're just distractions, I guess. There is one other thing. Depending on which number you activate a jackpot with, you can gain more bonuses. If it's an even number, nothing special happens, but if it's an odd number, the color of the water will turn red and your chance of jackpot is increased by 1000%. This continues as long as you continue getting odd numbers. So with all that known, I was able to beat the game. It's so stupid. You insert the money and then you don't do anything at all. The only thing you do is adjust the strength of the launcher when you enter the jackpot phase. Otherwise, you just sit there and press literally nothing. You just watch the game play itself. I was literally playing my old school RuneScape account on the side while I was waiting for a jackpot to hit. Like, oh my god, why does this game exist? Not to mention when it randomly crashed and I lost a ton of progress. Bleh. Let's see. Oh, it just crashed. But yeah. Here's a montage of me cashing out my winnings up to doubling my money. And with that, after 15 mind-numbing hours of Pachinko, I doubled the 100,000 bucks I was given. Let's go give it to that sketchy guy so I can join his gang. I went to the end of the week, saw my stats again, and then those 3 people gave their opinion of me. Finally, it was time. The game played a happier sounding song and Igarashi said, "Congratulations, I've been admitted to the gang." But I shouldn't be satisfied and always try harder. You know what, buddy? Screw you and your stupid gang. I'm never playing Pachinko again. Well, at least not until the other 2 N64 Pachinko games are chosen. Before I stopped playing, I figure I'd show the jackpot modes of the other 2 machines. For the construction one, you have to get 3 of the same number on the dice, as you might guess. There's a little panel at the bottom that says open and you have to get the balls in there for 16 rounds, similar to the fish game. I didn't want to play this one during the game because the jackpot's so much rarer. The third machine is called Million Slot 6. The spin is insane on this one. There's this mad scientist guy flashing the screen like crazy. As you might guess, you have to get 3 of the same symbol. Wow, how original. During the jackpot, the blue thing saying Lucky Open is revealed and balls in there give you 15 additional balls for 16 rounds. It's just like the other 2. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating Parlor Pro 64 Pachinko Jikki Simulation. Oh my god, screw this game. Who is the target audience here? Gambling addicts? Like, why on earth would you play this instead of just going out to a pachinko parlor yourself? Maybe if you're underage and not allowed to play, I don't know. This game has zero appealing qualities in my opinion. You don't do anything. You just sit there and watch the gameplay itself. The graphics are bad, the music of the machines drives you absolutely nuts after you listen to it for so long. You don't even get anything cool for doubling that guy's money. There's no like cool resolution to the lore or anything. Do not play this game. Avoid it at all costs. Also, don't play pachinko in general, but if you do, please play it responsibly. Gambling can ruin lives and I don't want to encourage it. Anyway, I gave this one a big ol' 0 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 1 out of 10 for difficulty. Hey, thanks for watching the video. Have a sneak peek at the next game. There are 303 on the list. Could be anything. 3, 2, 1, go. 59. What is that? Okay, I guess we're playing Donald Duck Going Quackers. Whatever this is. But yeah, if you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, consider giving it a like. It helps the channel a lot. And if you like this series, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on the next one.